Welcome to episode 9 of the Black and White Bistro, where black and white photographers meet. Our goal is simple: to provide a quality space where artists who enjoy black and white photography can come and get to know each other, and maybe even learn a little something from our guest artists. If you're a black and white photographer, or thinking about becoming a black and white photographer, and you want to learn more, at B&W Bistro has been created specifically with you in mind. So make sure to follow us at B&W Bistro so you won't miss our updates and our brand new features, such as our new Black and White Legends monthly feature showcasing some of black and white photography's most influential photographers, which we're currently in development on. If you like what you're seeing and hearing, please take a moment to help spread the word about us by sharing today's episode with your followers and friends. Speaking of black and white legends, several notable female photography pioneers have made significant contributions to black and white photography over the years. Some of these female black and white legends include Dorothea Lange, who was renowned for her powerful 1930s Depression-era documentary photography. Diane Arbus, known for her striking portraits of marginalized individuals and her unique perspective on American society. Margaret Bourke-White, a pioneering photojournalist who captured important historical moments and was the first ever female war correspondent in World War II. Sally Mann, famous for her intimate and atmospheric black and white photographs. Berenice Abbott, recognized for her architectural photography of New York City and also her scientific imagery. Helen Levitt, celebrated for her street photography capturing everyday life in New York City. Vivian Maier, whose work was only discovered after she died, known for her candid street photography. And Mary Ellen Mark, acclaimed for her ability to capture the personalities of her subjects in candid black and white images. Each of these incredible female photographers left an indelible mark on our beloved medium, photography, contributing to its development and showcasing the power of black and white photography to convey emotion, document history, and explore the human condition. I'm the host of the Black and White Bistro show, DavidLPayne, and today is a very special day for us because episode 9 is the first episode of the Black and White Bistro show to feature one of Vero's fantastic and talented female photographers. The Black and White Bistro show is proud to introduce you to a very special photographer who makes her home in the UK. Now, coming to you from her home, here she is, that black and white lady Jedi, Mo Stagar herself, one of Vero's highly respected black and white artists, Mona Stagarvoualch.
Hello, David. Hello, everybody. I am Mona. I am French, and I'm coming to you from the beautiful city of Bristol in England, where I have been living with my family for the last 30 years. I would first like to say thank you to David for inviting me to his wonderful B&W Bistro with such a line of amazing photographers. I truly feel humbled and honored. I am an amateur photographer, very enthusiastic, always curious, and ready to experiment new genres and techniques. I click photos mainly with a basic Canon 200D DSLR. My favorite lenses are a 50mm prime lens and a Sigma 105mm macro lens. I still have a small compact Sony Cybershot RX100M3 that I love. Nothing new, but all in perfect condition. Now I mainly use my iPhone 13 PM though, because I think that the camera is good and I always have it in my bag or my pocket. I have been taking photos for many years with basic point-and-shoot cameras, then with mobile phones, mainly photos of family events, holidays, my garden, and I am happy to have recorded all these memories. But I only really got seriously to photography quite recently. In my professional life, I was a human resource manager in France. And when I moved to this country, I did a qualification to become a teacher in adult and further education, teaching French to adults and to A-level students. I really enjoyed it. I am now retired, and I have all this wonderful free time for myself and my hobbies: gardening, drawing, painting, music, reading, and more. And of course, photography. But I decided to take a step further. I mean, I want to use it as an art, a way to express myself, to share through my images how I pay attention and feel connected to the world around me. I want to say thank you to David again, and also to each of you for being here today with us. And I hope you will enjoy the 3 photos that I selected for you.
Many thanks, my friend. Over the next few minutes, we will discover 3 personal favorite images of Mona's and the story behind each, and we'll also hear her answers to 4 black and white photography questions we've prepared for her. Let's enjoy the first artist-selected image from Mona and hear the story behind it in her own words.
My first selected photo is a Babington leek flower macro. Babington leeks grow very attractive purpley pink flowers. They are tiny, between 1 and 3 millimeters long. So I took this photo with my Sigma 105 millimeter macro lens. I love to do macro photography, especially in the garden, and I always plan macros carefully. I took that shot in color, but then I decided to convert it into black and white because I thought that the color was distracting, too dominant, really not benefiting the composition, and hiding interesting textures and details like the spider threads. I also adjusted the blur to focus on one flower only, and I increased this blur lightly to accentuate the shallow depths of field. My impression is that these edits and the conversion into black and white simplify the photo and make it more elegant. I am also happy with the diagonal composition and the light. I think that they accentuate the sense of depth in the photo.
We asked Mona, tell us about your photography journey and how and when did you decide to shoot black and white? Here's what she said. I took photos for a long time before becoming a photographer. My photos were all done with small point-and-shoot cameras and then iPhones. They were only reports on things, family events, trips, holidays. Then I became a member of a gardening club about 10 years ago and did lots of photography in my garden. The new thing for me was that we shared our photos in the group, so I started to look a little bit further than just reporting on my gardening activity and began producing images of what I was doing and creating as a photographer. Not only growing as a gardener, and little by little, photography took the lead over gardening. I wanted to try and make beautiful photos of things instead of photos of beautiful things. And I was encouraged by my friends who gave me nice feedback on my photos. So in 2018, I did a short basic photography course, bought my first DSLR, a Canon 200D, which I needed for the course, and I learned how to use it. The course was 1 3-hour session per week, including practice for 10 weeks. We had one session on shooting in black and white, and that was a revelation for me. I was immediately interested in black and white, and I don't miss an opportunity to learn more by reading books, watching documentary films about past and present photographers who inspire me. I'm also inspired by many amazing black and white photographers here on Vero. Our second question for Mona was, why does black and white photography appeal to you, and how do you know when you've created a truly special black and white image? She said, to me, black and white emphasizes the essence of your subject more than just its simple appearance. Black and white does not show an image of reality, but it gives a kind of simple, abstract version of reality, which I think makes photography creative, makes it art. I also think that moods, feelings, and emotions are more apparent when the colors are not there. As many people have said, without the distraction of color, other essential elements of a photo are given their rightful place and attention: light, contrast, composition, textures. And I love the simplicity and timelessness of black and white. Make a great photograph? However hard I try, I know I do not create a masterpiece each time I press the shutter. But I don't stress about it at all. I just get on with it and practice, practice, practice. This is the advantage of being an amateur photographer. When I believe I've created a good black and white photograph, it's a gut feeling. I'm happy, excited sometimes. Then I pay more attention to the details to find out why. I need to do that to find out these reasons if I'm going to improve. It's part of my learning process. Usually, I think it's good when it has a good use of light and contrast and an interesting composition. But sometimes I break the rules too, and I'm still happy with my photo. Now, let's enjoy our second artist-selected image from Mona and learn the story behind it.
My second selected photo is a street scene. Because I have lived in big cities all my adult life, and because I believe that it makes your life happier to get on with what you have, I embrace street photography. So I enjoy walking in streets, paying attention to street life and taking snaps of scenes, people, places that make me feel connected, touched, surprised, happy sometimes. Things that make me smile or laugh or make me imagine my own stories. It is all about seeing and feeling. I don't plan anything. It is only candid photography for me. This scene was on a sunny but not so warm Saturday afternoon in the wonderful city of Bath. The street was crowded, and these two people just stopped there, leaned against the wall right at the same time and with the same gesture. I found that funny. They seemed relaxed and taking their time. The woman using her hand as a visor against the dazzling sun. They went immediately so deep in their conversation that they didn't notice me. When I take photo in the streets, I like to be invisible anyway. What I love in this photo is the simplicity, the strong contrast between the light and shadows, the peaceful feeling it conveys, and its timelessness. Also the fact that it tickled my curiosity and left me free to imagine what the story was. I took this photo directly in black and white, using the black and white mode on my iPhone 13 Pro Max. The edit was only straightening and cropping a little to improve the composition, and also increasing the contrast lightly.
Our third question for Mona was, what have you personally found to be the greatest challenge in shooting black and white, and how did you overcome that challenge? She said, to me, the greatest challenge is that the world around us is in color, so it's difficult to see in black and white. Maybe a vibrant red and a dark blue will be a similar shade of gray in a black and white photo. And that changes both the subject balance and the overall composition. My way of facing that challenge is to train my eyes through practice, set my camera to monochrome mode, and look at my subject through the viewfinder. I find the EVF view much easier to work with than the LCD screen. On my iPhone, I select the black and white mode. When it looks flat and disappointing, perhaps it means I should shoot it in color, because the light's not strong enough or maybe too strong. I wish I knew the answer to that. I shoot in RAW format anyway to get all the information and try and adjust or convert the image in post-processing afterwards if needed. Our final question was, how would you describe yourself as a black and white photographer, Mona? She said, I'd say that I'm an enthusiastic amateur photographer and a lifelong learner. I'm always curious to try new things. My journey into photography is a stroll, not a race, and it has no destination. I have no ambition. I am learning. I have fun, and I spend lots of time looking at what other black and white photographers, both past and current, have done or are currently doing. Now let's enjoy our final artist-selected image from Mona and hear her story behind it.
My third selected photo is Breen Beach in Somerset, England. This is a beautiful 7-mile stretch of sand and dunes along the estuary of the tidal River Severn. At low tide, the beach also has a large expanse of dangerous mudflats, so swimming is only allowed for about 2 hours either side of high tide. The water is muddy and not very inviting anyway, but it is a beautiful place to relax and go for a walk, and it is less than 1 hour drive from my home. I took the photo one early evening in September last year. The sky was very cloudy after a sunny day, but the light was more interesting. What I really like in that photo is the perspective, the line of wave breakers leading to the patch of water reflecting the evening light. There is also light in the sky, and I love the movement and variety of tones in the sky. I took a black and white photo because of all the different nuances of grey in the dramatic clouds, and also because the only real color in the scene was a little bit of blue in the sky, which was distracting, because everything else was muted. So it had to be black and white, and I was really pleased with it.
That brings us to the end of today's Black and White Bistro show. We hope you enjoyed meeting Mona and her amazing black and white artistry. To see more of her images, view her gallery on Vero, share some likes, and consider following her beautiful black and white photography journey. We'd like to thank Mona for joining us on today's show. Would you like to have a chance to be featured on the Black and White Bistro show? First, follow us on Vero at B&W Bistro. Second, start using our hashtag B&W Bistro on your best black and white image posts. Finally, connect with us on Vero so that you can send us a DM or send me an email to dave@bnwbistro.com, indicating your interest in being our guest, and tell me about yourself and your photography journey. If you enjoyed today's show, make sure to mark your calendars so you don't miss Episode 10 coming exclusively on Vero on July 13th. Our guest artist will be coming to you from Texas in the USA. And don't forget, If you're not shooting in black and white, you're only seeing half the picture. Now, remember to follow us at B&W Bistro. Get out there and create some black and white photographs.